So apparently that good stuff from Columbia is being passed around the office at Dodge because guess what? V8s are back. All jokes aside, this was seriously a smart move by Dodge. The Ken Garff Dodge Ram Jeep Crest in West Valley is providing us with this Durango RT. It's currently available for sale. Link to the website in the description down below. Make sure to ask for Ezra. Powering this is a naturally aspirated 6.4 liter Hemi V8 that goes through an 8-speed automatic. Fuel economy is 13 around town, 19 on the highway, with power outputs being 475 horsepower, 470 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60, 4.4 seconds. This is a high-performance powertrain, so I recommend shorter oil change intervals, like a turbo engine, 3,000 to 5,000 miles. It'll treat you well if you do that. If you're looking for more straight-to-the-point reviews like this, make sure you subscribe. Bunch of hood vents with this, and then love the LED lighting, and then the performance front fascia. Sorry, it's kind of hard to see with the lighting today, but it's very aggressive looking with all the venting. They did such a good job with the style of the Durango over 10 years ago that they don't really have to change it that much today. 295 by 45 by 20 for the tire and wheel setup. We've got upgraded brakes with this, and here's the deal. This basically has all the same stuff as the SRT, it just doesn't have the SRT badge. You do, however, get that little 392 badge on the side. But yeah, this thing kind of a sleeper. Other than the 392 badge and the red brake calipers, it's not too shouty. Now this has the normal Durango key fob with our lock and unlock. You got the opening for the hatch, remote start, Dodge logo on the back. This is a 3-row family SUV, so you got storage behind the 3rd row, and we actually have a little cubby underneath. 12 volts in the back, and then the seats are manual for the fold down function. They do fold down flat, and then they give you this little button right here to lower the hatch down. We've got a really cool light bar across. You can see the RT badge there, and then dual outlet exhaust tips. That will cap things off for the exterior of this Durango RT. Just kidding, towing capacity, 8,700 pounds, and let's listen to the exhaust. Let's now take a look inside. Regular glass in the back. This is kind of soft touch at the top, like this little strip across, and you got stitching down below. And then look at these seats, more of that cool stitching perforated down the center. It's like a suede type trim. And then if we actually just fold this down, you can pull up the red strap to access the 3rd row, which the seats are just as nice back there in terms of the materials. It is usable by adults with a legroom and everything. It's a little bit tighter, so would reserve it for kids, but it's one of the better ones in the segment space-wise. Legroom here in the back is really good. We've got a little storage net. We also have our own vents in the back, USB ports, heated seats, and outlet. Cup holders here in the center. Climate zone, or climate controls rather, up top. We do have vents throughout the top too. Keyless entry up front, and let's check it out. Blind spot monitoring, thicker glass up front. This is really cool. With all the trim. Automatic for the front 2 windows. Memory seats. Dodge logo there, again perforated all down the center with the seat. Do have power adjustments with lumbar support on the side. And then we've got our light controls here, and then more of that stitching. Soft touch on the dash. Taking a look at the steering wheel, we've got soft touch all around, perforated on either side for better grip. Radio controls in the back, just underneath these paddle shifters. Got cruise control, we've got controls for the center, regular stock there for the turn signal windshield wiper setup. Partially analog, partially digital cluster. Notice speedometer goes up to 180, even though this car can't quite go that fast, but you know. You always gotta have the speedometer if it's analog a little bit higher than what the car. Actually, let's leave it to the horsepower meter. That'll be interesting to see. Backup camera in reverse, no 360. Some of you might see it as a downside, but you know, it's not a huge vehicle, so it's not hard to park. The screen's actually pretty good with the response time. Did they improve the UI on these? I don't know. Heated ventilated seats, heated steering wheel, and you got race car helmets on the Climate people, which is fun. Down below, we've got physical controls for the Climate, heated ventilated seats, heated steering wheel, and then a little SRT button. We'll go over that in a moment. Launch control. Let's press that now. It'll pull up all the drive modes. This has everything from track to sport to towing even. It's a do-everything type vehicle. Phone charging pad, got some cup holders here. You can see the shifter for the 8-speed. 12 volt inside. Got the tray up top. Soft touch there. This is nice. Across the dash too. No sunroof in this one. 2026 Durango RT 392 launch edition, 54,260. Let's take it out and see how it performs. Did I not close the door? Dork. Anyways, even if you're not a Dodge person, this has to be on your radar. If this is not on your radar, what are you doing with your life? What has your life come to that you can't get excited by a, not supercharged, I almost said supercharged, a naturally aspirated 6.4 V8 in a vehicle that is the same price as a mid-trim Palisade. Like, think about that for a second. You could be boring and get a hybrid or V6 Palisade, decent power on both, but we all know, not the most exciting powertrain setup. Or you could get this monster with 475 horsepower, knock your socks off, just crazy machine. And because it's naturally aspirated, you actually get to experience the power, right? You get to feel it build up. You guys probably, I put the horsepower meter there for a reason. You can see the horsepower building up as it goes through the RPMs. You know, a lot of the turbo cars, right? It's like, and especially electric cars, right? Electric cars give you all the power right out of the gate. But this, no, right? You get good torque on the low end, but you got to build up a little bit. So cool. I mean, this thing at partial throttle, as you can see, is putting out more horsepower than some cars have, period. That is so cool. This is one of the, like I said, just in terms of decisions that Dodge has made, such a good decision. I mean, they're completely flopping with the Charger right now. I mean, let's just be real here. Completely flopping with the Charger right now. Hey, we got 600 horsepower in a turbo fart can. Now it's a fast powertrain, it's smooth. I'm excited to drive the new 600 horsepower version. But this is just so much cool. It's like when I just reviewed that 6.7 liter Corvette the other week. It's like, yes. Does it make sense? Doesn't have to. It's just cool. And I think that the American automakers need to realize that, like, that's where they need to be with certain cars. Not every single car. They can make cars that are boring and European. They can do that if they want. Ah, see what I did there? But they can also make exciting stuff that is, like, true to the, like, when I think of an American car, I think of something that is just ridiculous, right? Bigger than it needs to be. And with the vehicle, the engine, the power, everything is bigger than it needs to be. Why? Because it's about freedom, right? Freedom to do whatever you want. And you know what? This vehicle drives really well. The suspension, again, it's unibody, independent suspension all around. I would never call it a luxury car, but this thing's smooth down the road. And it can go over bumps. And the engine, like, here's the thing is, you think that you're getting the 6.4 Hemi to drag race people. It's like you buy the 6.4 Hemi for the 475 horsepower, but you stay for the low-end torque and the fact that you can drive this, because it's a big displacement V8, you can drive this like you would drive a turbo car, where you're just partial throttle, laid back. You're not having to, like, dig in too deep to keep up with the flow of traffic or anything. And I can tell you, now that I have owned vehicles with both low horsepower, low torque, high torque, all of that, this is preferred. I like having the power to pass people when I want to pass people. And I also like having the ability to just sit back, relax, and cruise, and not feel like I've got to go full throttle because the vehicle is so slow, it's so underpowered, right? You really feel that with these modern turbo 4-cylinders. They're typical Volkswagen driver, no patience. Anyways, they're just sluggish in a way. Whereas this is not. This is just response. I got 1 horsepower going right now. Just idling. Does your car have 1 horsepower idling? It's crazy to see how much power this thing gives you right out of the gate. Look at that. You don't want that in your life? You don't want to be able to just, like, and the sound that it makes. And this thing has, I think the stock exhaust is what most people should keep. But, like, if you want more sound, like, there's so much aftermarket support for these Durangos. That's the thing's nice about this being, you know, an older car. There is aftermarket support. So, like, if you want to do a loud and rowdy exhaust, they exist. They exhaust. See what I did there? Ah. Anyways, that is the new Durango RT deal of the century. I'm going to be comparing this to a tow and go, and If it doesn't sell by the time I'm done with that comparison, I'm going to compare it to a Ford Exploder. Ah! See what I did there? And so stay tuned for all of that.